Hi guys, so I am back with another video and I have my husband with me. Y'all already know my name is Averi, now Averi Richardson, and I have my husband Jacari Richardson, Mr. and Mrs. Richardson, and today we are going to be basically giving our testimony of, you know, us getting married and how we knew to get married. So we just gonna go down like a little timeline. Let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
So I'm gonna start with like way before I even met him, and basically how I had knew that I was gonna get married period was because the Lord told me this was a desire of my heart, and I know that God had gave me the desire because I had friends who was like didn't even want to get married, and they was believers and all of that, and I knew that, you know, this was something that God gave me. And also because he showed me that it was a generational curse that I would break in my family. My mother was not married and my grandmother was not married, so that was the generational curse that I was going to break, and did, period. And so I did a portion of the Tiffany Montgomery fast. I began to believe that I knew who my husband was, and it was just like the math was not mathing. And so later on down the road, probably like 2 months before me and him actually started talking, the Lord had told me, you gotta let go of what was so that I can give you what it is. And so basically what God was saying was, what I thought was supposed to be mine, that was not what God desired for me. And so I was at church one day, and while I was at church, I saw him, and it was like I saw him, but I was like, nah, like, let's leave that alone. We done with the in the church guys. Like, that was, I'm gonna be real, that was me. Like, the in the church dudes wasn't going no more. I was not going for it. But it was just something still about him. I was like, something about him.
Yeah, I came in there with slides on.
Yes, like, well,
that Nike jumpsuit and slides.
It wasn't even like, he still looked good to me, but I was just like, focus. So then that's when, probably like, I think he had like either joined the church that day or he gave.
No, I joined the church.
He joined the church that day. And when he joined the church that day, you know, me being a member already, I'm like, okay, let me go hug everybody who just joined the church. Why is that funny?
She wanted to come hug me, y'all. That's really it. She wanted to come hug me. But
so I went and hugged him.
How you felt when you hugged me?
I felt regular, like a regular hug. Hey. So I went and hugged him, and then that's when, you know, that was it from that day. So you can give your standpoint from that day.
From that day. How you want me to go?
Oh, well, you know, your standpoint from basically what I just said until that day.
Until that day. Well, you know, basically how I had been praying for. Okay, yeah. So I had been praying for a wife, you know, for a while, and I had some situationships. I had some past relationships that I knew wasn't my wife, but I had been praying for my wife, and just that day I met her, just seeing someone worship in church, and I'm like, wow, it's fine girls who worship in church too. Like, okay, that's dope. And like, she instantly caught my eye, and that day she came up and hugged me. I was like, okay, well, that was a cool little hug. So I DM'd her on Instagram, and yeah, she really dodged me. She dodged me for a while, until one day. Yeah, let me go back to, it was her birthday coming up, and I was like, let me take you out to eat. Let me take you on a picnic or something for your birthday. Dodged me, and he ain't text back. And one day I was out of town, I was at the beach, and Averi texted me and asked hey, you not coming to church, mister?
Sir.
Sir? Yeah, she said sir. And I was like, nah, I'm out of town. And she was like, what you said? You said me too?
I was like, oh, me either. Like,
oh,
I wasn't going to church.
Yeah, you was like spending time with family. And I was like, I texted somebody, I was like, ain't nothing wrong with spending time with family or something like that.
He said, God won't be mad at us.
Yeah, right. And it went on, and I guess finally she gave in a little bit. And as far as that, like, she said she wanted to, you know, actually FaceTime me, you know, hear what I had to say. And
first of all, at this time, I was talking to somebody, but I wasn't talking to nobody. Like, it was just somebody texting, because I was still dating, but I wasn't putting all my eggs in one basket. But when I had started talking to him, it was like the Lord told me to put all my eggs in this basket. So that's what I did. And so, but I called him one night, and I don't really tell like people my testimony for real. But this night I had called him, we was talking, and I told him like my full blown testimony, like everything. Then that's when I think it wasn't that long. We had started like.
No, we had basically, you know, came to an agreement of like.
Oh yeah, that
we was gonna be cool.
Yeah, we was gonna be cool. We was gonna be
cordial.
friends.
Yeah.
Now let me tell y'all something. He used to call me his wife, and I would literally be like, "Stop saying that. Like, I'm scared of that W word." Like
that was after the fact. After we were said we had been friends, but even being friends, like me and Avery used to talk on the phone. We was talking on the phone while I was working. Like, literally during the day, we was talking on the phone while I was at work. Because I was working at that steel company. But we were still friends. We was
friends in my book, but to him, he knew that I was his wife.
Yeah, once she started calling me and asking me what I'm doing, and then even down to, she drove all the way from across town, y'all. And brought me some Chick-fil-A. I'm like, okay, come on now, let's be real. This woman ain't finna bring me nothing to eat, and she don't mess with me, and she not digging me. So you know, the math started mathing, and you know when you know, and I knew she was my wife, and we had one day Avery went and spoke. Yeah, you had went and spoke one day.
Yeah, so I had went to speak one day, and when I had went to speak, he had texted me. Oh, babe, we forgot all about that part.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Yes.
Wait, y'all, rewind real quick. Let's rewind.
Yeah, so we gotta take them all the way back down memory lane.
Let's just run back real quick. So one day I had to speak somewhere. And this was the same day that we were supposed to go to our church and write on our new walls, like write scriptures and stuff like that. So he texted me, and he was like, "Are you going to go write on the church walls?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have to go. I'm gonna have to go real quick because I gotta speak." And so I met him. He was like, he didn't want to go because he was scared. That's what he said, y'all. He was scared. So we had met at the church, and you know we wrote stuff on the wall, literally like right by each other. It was cute. And after that, yeah, I forgot about that too. Then after that, that's when stuff started happening. That was the night that we got on the phone and talked and all of that.
Yeah.
And then skip back ahead to where I was.
But we would kick it outside. We would chill in her car. And one day, we went to Longhorns. And was it Longhorn? We went to Longhorn. We went out to eat because she had said she was supposed to go with her dad, but her dad had plans. So I went with her, and that was a vibe. We kicked it, we chilled. And,
okay, but let me tell y'all the insight with that, because there was some. So when we had got the receipt, the total was $16.33, and no, $33.16.
Yeah, I was
$33.16. And so the Lord spoke to me because at this time, like, he didn't know that God speak to me through, you know, numbers and stuff like that, and signs and stuff like that. So the number 33 means promises, and then the number 16 means love. And so when I seen that, I instantly like, oh, junk. Like, you know, I ain't really much say nothing.
She ain't say nothing to me.
But I knew
She was teasing them.
And I knew, I said, oh my gosh, like, oh Lord. But yeah, go ahead, keep going. About the park.
And yeah, so another day we had a date to the park, and yeah, we had a vibe at the park. We talked, we laughed, and that was the first time I truly heard her laugh, like her real laugh. And so fast forward back to she needed a ride to go speak.
So yeah, so I needed a ride to go speak. And when we were in the church, well, okay, before all this, we was praying. We was asking God, like, God, if this could be my potential spouse, show us, you know, let us know. You know, we want to make sure that this is something that you desire for the both of us.
Me and Avery had both, like, got out of something, you know, and
we was low-key scared to get into something.
Right. So we was just really praying that we made the right decision.
Right.
And yeah, so go ahead with the
So then that's when I was at the church, I was speaking, and I had left. I was finna leave early because we had to go somewhere or do something once I finished speaking. And so the lady like ran after us coming out, and she was like, hey. She was like, are y'all married? And we looked at each other, and we was like,
just friends.
Well, like, no, we just friends, but you know, that's something we talk about. And so she was like, well, the Lord sent me out here to tell you that y'all are going to get married. And so me at the time, in my little brain, in my little head, I'm like, not my little brain, big brain, but at the time I'm like, Lord, this better be a real prophet right here. I'm not playing. Like, this was going on in my head. I'm like, this better be a real prophet. You gonna have to confirm this prophet. And so then that's when she started speaking. And she started saying stuff that only me and him knew, like, as far as, like, she looked at him, she was like, you know what you need to do to have her, and she needs you. And she was saying a whole bunch of stuff that we knew it was confirmation for us. And so from that day forward, like, you know, we pursued each other as, like, we were going to get married. Like, we just went ahead and, like, put that in our brain, like, all right, this is it. And honestly, I think around that time, that was when I said, look, all them eggs finna go in one basket for real. Because, like I said, I was dating, but God showed me my man. I had to, this my man, and I'm sticking with him. But, yeah.
Months down the road, I asked her to be my girlfriend. I took her out to, we need to tell them about the encounter. Okay, so.
So one night I was praying for him, and I asked the Lord to give him an encounter. We went to like a service together, and that night the Lord, it's crazy because the Lord, like, he showed me that moment before, and then when I was in the moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been in this moment before where I was praying for a guy, but I didn't know who the guy was. And so I was praying for him, and I was like, Lord, just give him an encounter, like, because at this time that's what he needed. And the next day the Lord gave him an encounter, and it was crazy how it happened. He had basically went to jail because of something that he did not do. And that night, God spoke to him.
I had to spend the night in jail. And God spoke to me and basically told me, even though I wasn't in there for the life that I was living, it was a place I needed to be just to see. And he spoke to me and he told me that others may succeed in the life that I was living, but for me it was jail or hell. And I changed. I was on a live for God. I was on a clean slate. I got baptized. I was lit and still lit for God. And yeah, she prayed for that encounter. It was something I needed.
It was not long before God did what he did with us, honestly.
Yeah, that day I got out of jail. I was released from jail. It was it was not 4th of July.
It was July 1st.
It was July 1st, and they was having a fireworks show in Dothan. And I took Avery out to eat and asked her to be my girlfriend in a strategic way, and took her to see the fireworks, and it just really kicked off right then and there. months down the road.
2 months. You gotta be specific.
Okay, 2 months.
2 months later, this man asked me to marry him.
First I got her hand from her dad and her stepmama, and I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. What was it? 2 months down the road again?
1 month.
1 month down the road.
1 month after
we're engaged, we're married.
Yep.
And
we got married on October 10th.
October 10th.
And the Lord gave me that date, October 10th, because 10-10. And I believe number 10 means like perfection, complete. Also, the scripture kept popping in my head. You know, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but God comes to give a rich and satisfying life. And I think that's, what is that? John 10:10. Let's make sure. Yeah, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that you may have life and have it to the fullest. And that blessed me when the Lord told me that 10-10 was the day that he wanted us to get married. And so we did, you know, we didn't have an extravagant wedding, not yet, but we are gonna have one. Yeah. And we just moved forward, and we trusted God.
Right, we was listening to Lord, to God, and going when he said go, and doing when he said do. And one thing it was I think it was somebody who said this or something. We realized that the blessings that God had for us wasn't going to come until we got married.
Yeah.
So that's why it was so important that we went on ahead and got married, so that we could receive and inherit the blessings that God had for us.
Yeah.
And
to some it might have looked like we was crazy. And to some it might have looked like we happened too fast. But when God speaks, you have to be obedient. When God says go, you have to go, no matter what people say. And I just wanted to do what the Lord called me to do, telling me to do. So that's what we did.
We didn't want to bypass that chance. And,
and miss our blessing.
Right.
Or prolong a blessing.
Right.
So we did what we did. And
it's been we can really see the blessings. We have been getting blessed. That's something that we can acknowledge and can say that we are being blessed and reaping the blessings of being married. And you know, it's marriage. It's something new. It's something we are growing into daily. We've never been married, so it's something that we're growing into daily. And even now, just being that we got married so quick, we're still learning each other. But to now that we are best friends. Like, this is my best friend. I'm her best friend. We see eye to eye.
And I'm sticking with him.
Right. Period. And yeah, the enemy does what he does. He attacks. Right. He attacks any and every way. And that's something we have been growing in, just standing in the gap for each other. Knowing that we are all human, we face different obstacles every day. We stand in the gap for each other, and we pray daily, and keep each other in prayer, and covered, right. And just to anybody out there who's married, or who's planning to get married, even at a young age, is that if we could give y'all any advice, is to fight and to put God first. Let him be the center. Right, fight and put God first.
Fight for your marriage. Fight the enemy, not each other.
Right. Don't fight flesh with flesh.
Yep. So, that is our testimony. And I'm going to try to, keep y'all in the loop of things. And just so y'all can stay updated on me and my man. And just having a lifestyle of being a young wife, young husband, and keeping God first. So I love y'all. We love y'all. Be blessed.